My dear viewers, hello and welcome to the news bulletin from Channel 2 and Nile TV International. It is 3 p.m. here in Cairo. Time for the news. My name is Amal Mukhtar. I have all the pleasure to be joined with my colleague Green Tamer.
Hello, Amal. Thank you so much. Welcome, dear viewers, and we start right away with the headlines. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi meets Prime Minister Madbouli on enhancing investment opportunities in the energy sector. Foreign Minister Badr Abdel Ati meets Kuwaiti Crown Prince on boosting bilateral ties. And Lebanon says Israeli airstrikes kill more than 55 people, many of them in central Beirut.
Welcome back. The news in detail. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi today urged intensifying efforts for enhancing investment opportunities in the energy sector, making the optional benefit from a trial and development pursuits. The President made these remarks in meeting with Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli, Minister of Electricity and Renewable Energy, Mahmoud Asmat, and Minister of Petroleum and Mineral Resources, Karim Badawi. The meeting touched on providing the needs of the electricity sector from petroleum products and regulatory of gas supplies to the national electric grid.
Minister of Foreign Affairs, Immigration and Egyptian expatriates Badr Abdel Ati started his visit to Kuwait and met Crown Prince Sheikh Sabah Khalid Al Hamad Al Mubarak Al Sabah. Abdel Ati transferred an oral message from President al-Sisi asserting the deep-rooted historic bilateral ties that links both countries. Abdel Ati affirmed Egypt's full support to the Gulf security and Egypt's aspiration to boost economic and trade. Kuwait regarding that the Egyptian government had taken positive steps to enhance cooperation and attract investment as the government had taken steps to implement the economic reform plan.
Also, during his visit to Kuwait, Foreign Minister Abdel Ati convened with Sheikh Fahd Yusuf Saud Al Sabah, acting Kuwaiti Prime Minister, Minister of Interior and Defense. Foreign Minister Abdel Ati displayed the various investment opportunities that Egypt witnessed in all sectors, which Kuwait companies can benefit from, in addition to the agreement to exchange economic delegations and encourage increased Kuwaiti investments. Foreign Minister Abdel Ati expressed Egypt's welcome to discuss security and military cooperation to confront various security challenges. He also asserted on Egypt's aspiration to promote bilateral cooperation in the field of cybersecurity, pointing to the importance that Egypt paid to this vital field.
Israeli army orders Gaza City suburb evacuated, spurring new displacement wave. The Israeli military issued new evacuation orders to residents in areas of an eastern Gaza City suburb, setting off a new wave of displacement on Sunday. And a Gaza hospital director was injured in an Israeli drone attack, Palestinian medics said. In central Gaza, health officials said at least 10 Palestinians were killed in Israeli airstrikes on the urban camps of Al Maghazi and Al Burij since Saturday night. In North Gaza, health officials said an Israeli drone dropped bombs on Kamal Adwan Hospital, injuring its director.
Well, Lebanon said the Israeli air strikes have killed more than 55 people, many of them in central Beirut, as Israel's defense minister vowed decisive action against Hezbollah. On Israel's second front, the more than 13-month war with Hamas in Gaza, rescuers said pre-dawn Israeli airstrikes and tank fire have killed 19 people and wounded more than 40.
A gunman was dead and 3 Jordanian policemen injured after a shooting near the heavily fortified Israeli embassy in the capital Amman in Sunday's early hours. A security source said police shot a gunman who had fired at a police patrol in the affluent Rabia neighborhood of the Jordanian capital, adding investigations were ongoing. Jordan's communication minister Mohammed Mu'mani described the shooting as a terrorist attack that targeted public security forces in the country.
Well, Arab League Council holds an emergency session on Sunday at the level of permanent delegates headed by Yemen and upon the request of Iraq. The meeting is due to discuss the memorandum of the President of the UN Security Council regarding the allegations of the Israeli occupation of increasing the frequency and intensify of attacks on it through Iraqi territory since last September, which aims to drag the region into regional war.
The Arab League Secretary General Ahmed Abulghait stressed that the aggression war committed by Israel in the region reduced the opportunities of the countries in achieving development and sustainability. This came during Abulghait's speech at the inauguration session of the Arab Week for Sustainable Development at the Arab League headquarters under the title Sustainable Solutions for Better Future, Flexibility and Adaptability in an Arab Developed World. He added that the critical circumstances in the region coincide with global uncertainties, economic crises, wars and climate change's threats.
Iran plans to hold talks about its disputed nuclear program with the 3 European powers on November 29th in Geneva. Japan's Kyodo news agency reported on Sunday, days after the UN atomic watchdog passed a resolution against Tehran. Iran reacted on the resolution, which was proposed by Britain, France, Germany and the United States, with what government officials called various measures such as activating numerous new and advanced centrifuges machines that enrich uranium. Kyodo said Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian's government was seeking a solution to a nuclear impasse ahead of the inauguration in January of U.S. President-elect Donald Trump. While Ukraine has lost over 40% of the territory in Russia's Kursk region that it captured in a surprise incursion in August, as Russian forces have mounted waves of counter-assaults, a senior Ukrainian military source have said.
The source, who is on Ukraine's general staff, said Russia had deployed 59,000 troops to the Kursk region. More details in the following report.
Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Sunday that Ukraine needs to strengthen its air defenses to protect people after its air defense units shot down 50 of 73 Russian drones launched overnight over many regions. Zelensky said on Telegram Messenger that an air alert has been sounded almost daily across Ukraine this week. Zelensky said that over the past week, Russia used more than 800 guided aerial bombs, about 460 attack drones, and more than 20 missiles of various types. Earlier on Sunday, the Ukrainian military said that air defense units had destroyed more than 10 Russian drones that were targeting Kyiv in an overnight attack. Kyiv's military administration posted on Telegram that there were no immediate reports of damage or injuries as a result of the attack. Meanwhile, Russia has removed a senior general in Ukraine for giving misleading reports about the progress of the war, as Defense Minister Andrei Belosov tries to clear out poor commanders. Pro-Russian war bloggers and Russian media made the statement. Ahead of winter, Russian forces advanced at the fastest rate in Ukraine since the start of the 2022 invasion, though progress was much slower in some areas, particularly around Siversk in the eastern region of Donetsk. Russian media cited unidentified sources as saying that Colonel General Gennady Anashkin, the commander of the southern grouping, had been removed from his command, though there was no official confirmation.
Moving to the world of business and finance, as Egypt's bourse turned green at the start of today's dealings amid purchases by local and Arab investors against sell-offs by foreign investors. The market capital of listed companies opened above £2.2 trillion of gains. The benchmark index EGX 30 rose 0.2% near the 30,670 point mark. The equal weighted indices EGX 70 and EGX 100 climbed 0.8% and 0.6% respectively.
Countries at the COP29 summit in Baku adopted $300 billion a year global finance target on Sunday to help poorer nations cope with impacts of climate change. The agreement clinched in overtime at the two-week conference in Azerbaijan's capital was meant to provide momentum for international efforts to curb global warming in a year destined to be the hottest on record. The agreement would provide $300 billion annually by 2035, boosting rich countries' previous commitment to provide $100 billion per year in climate finance by 2020. The deal also lays the groundwork for next year's climate summit to be held in Amazon rainforest of Brazil, where countries are meant to map out the next decade of climate action.
Now with the sports news, as Egypt's U17 national team qualified for the Africa Cup of Nations after thrashing Libya 7-1 in the fifth and final round North Africa qualifiers. The win put the young Pharaohs on top of the qualifier rankings on 9 points, one ahead of Morocco, to both book a place in the African tournament. The national team also secured the spot in the tournament finals due to be held in Côte d'Ivoire next year.
Well, Al-Zamalek 1-0 lost to Al-Masri of Port Said in the third round of the Egyptian Premier League. The encounter's only goal came through Mohammed Al-Shami in the injury time of the first half. Well, with this, my dear viewers, we come to the end of the news bulletin. My name is Amal Mukhtar. I was in the company of my dear colleague, Reem Tamer. Thank you, Reem.
Thank you, Amal. Thank you, dear viewers. Stay tuned for more updates on the top of the hour. That was Reem Tamer and Amal Mukhtar, and thank you for watching.